2010, the Marlins and Mets meet. And this year, the Fish have dominated the series. When it's Marlins and Mets, it's always a good show. So tonight, sit back, relax, enjoy. South Florida tonight, baseball tonight. Final game of this homestand, final game of the season between the Florida Marlins and the New York Mets. And the Marlins have had the Mets number so far this year with a win last night. The Fish at an even 500. Dan Uggla with 100 RBIs in his sights. Lomo's been on base in 40 consecutive games. Jose Reyes and the Mets for the final time in 2010. Catch me if you can. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Tommy Hutton. We mapped it out last night. How do the Marlins finish with a winning record? Winning last night's game makes it a little clearer. They're an even 500 with 12 games left.
Yeah, you mapped it out with a baker's dozen left last night, 13. You said 8-5 will get the club over 500. Well, off to a good start with the win last night.
And the good start, good finish last night, Gabby Sanchez with a enormous 3-run home run for the Marlins in the 8th inning. He's had a terrific year. I know he's not the sexiest Rookie of the Year candidate in the National League, but you stack his numbers up, Tommy, little by little by little. Maybe slow and steady wins the race.
I'll put his numbers up against any of them. The home run last night was Gabby's 19th. He's second amongst rookies with 19 home runs. Tyler Colvin and Mike Stanton have 20. How about doubles? Look at all the doubles, 36. That's more than any rookie in the National League. How about just base hits? Gabby Sanchez has 150 base hits. That leads all rookies. He has 81 RBIs. That leads all rookies in the National League. So all you have to do is look at the rookie list in the leaders in the National League. You're going to see Gabby Sanchez's name all over it.
And ironically, last night, one of the guys that he's competing with for Rookie of the Year, Buster Posey, he hit a game-winning home run in Chicago for the Giants, and Gabby hit one here. So it certainly will be an interesting last 12 games for both of those guys. Let's talk about the pitchers in tonight's game. Last time that the Marlins faced the Mets, and the Marlins are going to face a guy that they've faced an awful lot, Jonathan Neese. The Mets will face a guy that they've seen a couple times this year.
The Marlins certainly will be familiar with the lefty Jonathan Neese. He's 23 years old. He's having a fine rookie season, good ERA. He has enough on the fastball to keep you honest with that pitch, but good off-speed stuff too. Alex Sanabia, he has seen the Mets before. They've seen him. He's 1-1 with a 3.24 ERA against New York.
All right, stage is set. This is it. The curtain drops on the Marlins and the Mets in 2010. When we get back, how about a little defense? Mike Stanton with the play of the night last night, but the Fish were great behind Mendez. Jeff Conine breaks down the defense in last night's win. down below. Jeff Conine, Craig Minervini.
All right, welcome back, everybody, with Jeff Conine. I'm Craig Minervini, and we're getting set for Game 2 of the series. The Marlins will travel to Milwaukee after tonight. You can only hope, Niner, that they play the kind of defense they played last night, because it was truly the key to the game. I know Gabby had the big homer, but without the defense, there might have been a big difference in the score.
Yeah, huge difference. And, when you think about defense in the American League or in the National League, you think about fielding percentage, but plays like this that don't show up on fielding percentage make such a huge difference in the game because they erase runners that might score. This play right here, unbelievable play by Gabby Sanchez, very aggressive.
And the triple after that,
Triple after that would have scored a run. That no longer is a factor. And Ugla, another great turn right there. Hanley Ramirez, 3 great turns. Brad Davis, you didn't see replays of those, but he gunned down 2 runners. Those are extra outs that pitchers don't count on.
Yeah.
But
do you want to see a replay of that?
Included in the game. Let's
show him that replay. Nina wants to see the replay. Brad Davis, he was terrific there catching.
Outstanding. 2 absolute bullets down to David Wright. Gets an excellent jump on this ball, throws him out easily. Jose Reyes, one of the toughest guys to throw out in the National League, gets him easily. These are outs that pitchers, talk about double plays being pitchers' best friends. I think catchers throwing out runners is pitcher best friends, too.
Well, that's a big factor for the Marlins. And, the Mets will be very worried, I would think. A little more respect, I think, for Brad Davis. And for a guy like Davis, and for that matter, a lot of the young players on both teams, you need to perform to get some respect, right?
Well, and these guys are on audition right now. Brad Davis needs to show the Marlins what he can do. Mike Stanton showing what he can do. Alex Sanabia tonight on the mound. They need to show what the Marlins and other organizations what they can do in their September audition, so to speak.
Niner will join us at the post game. Richard Tommy getting set for the call of Game 2. Allison Williams is here as well tonight. Got the whole crew ready to bring you Game 2. Mets Marlins, as Alex Sanabia goes for the victory, looking for his 5th against lefty Jonathan Neese. Next.
Is brought to you by Toyota, moving forward, and by AT&T. Find out what's possible with the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, rethink possible. Sun Life Stadium, Mets and Marlins. Final time in 2010. The Mets come in at 74 and 77. You see Jose Reyes about to stand in. Alex Sanabia waiting behind the mound. And for Sanabia, the 22-year-old makes his 2nd start against the Mets. He also had a relief appearance against them in Puerto Rico. And his first pitch is down low. Sanabia working with Brad Davis. Reyes last night, 1 for 2, walked a couple times, had a triple, was caught stealing. and made a big error in the ball game as well. The season that he has had, coming off a very much injury-shortened year and a injury-shortened spring training as well.
Yeah, all in all, he's put up some decent numbers, 26 doubles, 9 triples, to go along with the 11 home runs.
At the knees, Reyes doesn't like the call. He turns away. Brian O'Nora is the crew chief, and he is working home plate tonight with Chris Guccione, Phil Cuzzi, and Vic Carapazza out at third base. There's O'Nora, a veteran umpire, and a good one. And that is a great changeup, and that's the pitch that has brought Alex Sanabia to the big leagues.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Jose Reyes didn't like the strike call, he certainly didn't like this. That's a great pitch, and it fools him tremendously. You see how badly he's out front.
When you talk to scouts about Sanabia and you ask them what they think, one of the things that they talk about are his guts and just his courage out on the mound, unafraid to throw any pitch at any time. Doesn't look overmatched in the big leagues for a guy that just turned 22. Here's Pagan.
Well, and he goes after hitters, and he challenges hitters without having a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Got good sink on his fastball, the great changeup, and he mixes in a slider every now and then. Pagan hits that one into left center. Morrison calling for it, and makes the catch. All right, here's the Mets lineup. You've seen Reyes, you've seen Pagan. And now meet Carlos Beltran with David Wright behind him. Ike Davis at first. Lucas Duda hit one a mile for a home run yesterday. Josh Tolley, the catcher. Ruben Tejada is out at second. And Nice will hit ninth.
I think it's good news for Sanabia against this lineup. You got the 3 switch hitters, so they're all hitting left-handed. And you have 3 other left-handed bats. Lefties hitting 191 against Alex Sanabia.
We talked about it last night with Alberto Mendez, the fact that his changeup, and we talk about this lineup, you're right, you got the switch hitters, then you got the lefties.
And on the other hand, right-handers against Alex are hitting 328.
Here's the 2-0. There's a strike to Beltran. He was 1 for 4 last night with a single and a pair of strikeouts. Sanabia works quickly. He doesn't mess around. Beltran gets into that one, hits it deep. Back goes Maven at the track, makes the catch. 1, 2, 3, go the Mets. Well, that was quick.
español oprimiendo el botón del SAT.
All right, the Marlins lineup tonight looks this way, 75 and 75. No Hanley Ramirez tonight. Cameron Maven in center, and Ozzie Martinez, the youngster, starts at short. Logan Morrison in left, Dan Uggla at second. Gabby, a 6-game streak, big home run last night. Mike Stanton in right, Wes Helms at third. BD behind the plate. Alex Sanabia hits ninth. And Joe Espada is all mic'd up. So throughout the night, we will hear from the Marlins third base coach. He has had a very good season at third base.
Yeah, I know. We've all talked about that in total agreement with the way he's handled at the third base coach's box. Very aggressive. Done a nice job.
Been aggressive and successful. Cameron Maben takes down low from Nice. The elbow for Hanley Ramirez continues to bother him, and so he's not in the lineup, which is too bad because he's hit Nice pretty well in his career. And Maben smacks one into center field for a base hit.
So the thing about Nice in the games that he's pitched, the previous 4 games, the Marlins have gotten hits against him. They had 5 hits in a loss, 7 hits, 8 hits. So they've attacked him and hit the ball pretty well. Here's the defense for the Mets in this one. Lucas Duda getting the start again in left field. Beltran and Pagan in the outfield. Wright, Reyes, they each made big errors last night. Tejada and Davis on the right side, and Josh Tolley behind the plate.
Ozzie Martinez getting the start, and he pushes a bunt right side. Davis picks it up. Ozzie is tagged out. Maben reaches second. And it's going to be a sacrifice. I think Ozzie was not only sacrificing, but also pushing it to a point where he might be able to sneak by and get a hit.
Yeah, I think he was actually trying to get a base hit, but it worked out. He didn't get the hit. Davis was able to get to it and then get the tag before he got to the bag, but he gets the runner in scoring position for Logan Morrison.
Morrison in the 3 spot in the absence of Hanley. 40 straight now is on base streak. And Nice misses inside with a fastball. Lomo 1 for 4 night last night. Uggla's on deck. We'll see what he's done with runners in scoring position. Nice with the breaking ball catches the corner. 1-1.
And we talked about Lomo, the way he has hit lefties. 377 against left-handers this year.
That fits right in with the rest of the Marlins, who have been a terror against left-handed starters this year. 30-14, best winning percentage in baseball, and that one gets in on him, and it counts 1-2.
He's unhappy in himself at that swing on a good sinking fastball by Nice.
You see the total wins in terms of win percentage. The Marlins at 30-14. Nice again goes inside. This time Morrison does an offer.
That's the one place, as Edwin checks things out, that's the one place pitchers have tried to consistently work Logan Morrison. That's down and in.
Pretty good pitch, and
wow.
I think Morrison got a break.
I think he did.
Let's look at it on Fox Tracks.
That was in.
See, he's got better eyes than we do.
He sure
Let's
does.
face it.
There's no doubt about that.
Full count. Down low, 41 straight. So he's one shy of Mark Teixeira, who has the longest such streak in baseball this year. So Lomo's been on 41 consecutive.
So calm and so patient against left-handed pitching. He struck out 38 times this year, and he's walked 38 times.
Now Uggla comes up. Uggla's average up at 283 after 2 hits last night, a 2 for 4 effort. Of course, he doubled on Monday against the Cardinals. Nice gets a strike with a breaking ball. 12 games left, so he needs just the 4 RBIs to get to 100. And it sounds easy,
easier, yeah.
But it's never easy when you get to a point where you're close to a mark. And Uggla admitted to us that he was really pressing when he got to 29 homers. And he was one shy of setting an all-time Major League record for second baseman with 30 homer seasons. When he hit number 30, he said it was a big relief. The changeup misses low. The count's 2-1. Ugla against Nice is 4 for 10. Driven in a couple. Has not homered against him. Sends that one into center field. That's going to be another RBI. Ugla's one closer, and the Marlins are up 1-0. Morrison stops at second. And Dan Ugla now with 97 RBIs. The Fish have the lead 1-0.
We talk about consistency. There's a pitch that Dan just stays back on, goes up the middle. And I don't think we've seen this over his first 5 years. Dan Ugla came into this at bat. Listen to Joe. He lets him know. Come in to score. But Dan Ugla against lefties hitting 283, against righties hitting 281. That's consistency.
I think you can also drop that word on Gabby Sanchez this year. That one kicks away, rolls towards the screen. Morrison moves up. Ugla moves up. And it puts Gabby in a great spot to pick up a couple of RBIs and stretch this lead. It's a wild pitch. Josh Tolley, the catcher, got a piece of it, but it was a wicked bounce. Do you think the Boston announcers say that?
Oh, yeah, wicked hop, wicked bounce, wicked awesome.
All right. Nice misses down low. Jerry Manuel watching from the Mets dugout. Gabby last night, of course, launched a 3-run homer. Was 3 for 4. Got a fastball there. Logan Morrison talking about Gabby's chances to be Rookie of the Year. I think he should get it. He's been doing it all year. He's the best teammate you could ask for. It couldn't go to anyone more deserving than him. And Sanchez's numbers certainly warrant all that talk. Buster Posey last night in Chicago hit a home run late, and that was the difference in the Giants' win over the Cubs.
Right now, Buster Posey hitting 324, 15 home runs, 62 RBIs.
Would you say it's between Sanchez,
Posey, and Hayward?
And Posey?
It's between those three.
Garcia has kind of fallen off.
Yes.
Lefty from St. Louis.
He's fallen off the way the Cardinals have, too.
No swing.
So a chance to add on for Gabby to that RBI total.
Going to get a 3-2 pitch. Stanton's on deck. Marlins are on the board. Breaking ball. He hooks it foul.
And I've mentioned it before, Rich, that the thing that is going to help both Posey and Hayward is their teams are in contention.
Yes.
And there's a lot of focus. Anything they do is going to have more magnitude to it. That's going to take away from Gabby's chances.
But you never know in the next 12 games. It's outside. Gabby walks. Bags are loaded now for Stanton.
It's another thing that Gabby Sanchez has done so well this year. 53 walks, an on-base percentage of over 350. And I like what Lomo said, because you know how I feel about it. He's done it all year. He's been here since day one.
Now, of course, last year that was one of the arguments used against Chris Coughlin, is that he came upon the scene after a couple of months of the season, but his numbers were so overwhelming.
Yeah. In order to counter that, he had to be unbelievably good, and he was the last 2 months. He had more hits than any Major League player the last 2 months.
So Stanton climbs in. The bags are loaded. Mike was 0 for 4 last night. Infield's back for 2. Nice picking at the corner, and it's 1-0.
This has been puzzling. Mike Stanton hitting just 183 against lefties, and he's also only 4 for 29 against the Mets this year.
There's Morrison. He walked. Ugla an RBI single. Gabby walked. Of course, Stanton has not hit well in this ballpark either.
So if you total, Mike say he'd like to forget about these two teams, the Braves and the Mets. He's 5 for 59. Because remember, just 1 for 30 with that home run against Atlanta and 4 for 29 against the Mets.
Here's that spot where you'd really love to see Mike sit on one pitch and take a real hack at it if he gets that one pitch. He did not. That's inside. That's ball 4.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I didn't see Brian O'Nora make a strike call, and finally he held up his left hand, get 4 balls.
See, if you're Logan Morrison at third base, you think it's 4 balls, but you're not going to budge off third until it's called ball 4.
And it clearly was ball 4. Well, maybe not so clearly.
It's ball 4. That's ball 4, right? Go ahead, ball 4.
See?
Well, good job on Logan's part.
Yeah. Because say the umpire loses count, or, you know, sometimes the scoreboard, you saw Joe's point up at the scoreboard. Sometimes the scoreboard in any stadium can be wrong. Helms fouls it back to the screen. So the Marlins have 2 runs and a nice opportunity to pick up more as Wes Helms is up. But Nice is out in front of him, 0-2. See the Mets infield back. Teams lately have really been pounding Wes Helms up with fastballs.
Wes has gotten beaten with a lot of fastballs this year.
Oh-2. Breaking ball down low.
Let's see if he comes back with a fastball now.
Nice now with the count 1-2. Nice is 23 out of Defiance, Ohio. Helms drives out of the gap, left center field, gonna drop, base hit, Uggla will score. Gabby's behind him, Stanton to third, Helms hustles into second and is in there. And it's 4-0 just like that. Uncle Wes is 1 for 1.
You love to get that checkers double out of the way early, especially when it produces 2 runs. So Wes Helms gets it into that gap. By the time it's chased down by Duda, he's able to get to second base and put the Marlins up 4-0. 2 more runs coming in on that 2-base hit.
Here's Davis now. There's still only 1 out. First base is open, and you got the pitcher on deck. And you also have the Mets bullpen in action. Davis, ground ball up the middle. A run's going to score. Tejada, a jump throw, and a gorgeous play by the 20-year-old second baseman. But BD gets an RBI. Stanton comes across. Helms now resides at third, and it's 5-0.
It's a little thing, but you go back to Wes Helms taking second on that ball into left center. If he's at first, that's probably a double play. But a good job by Brad Davis to get that ball almost up the middle. Terrific play by Ruben Tejada, the young second baseman.
And I know he's not here, and I hope that he's recovering and feeling all right. And if he's watching, John Maley's got a smile on his face right now.
And if he's not too drugged up right now, too.
Maley, of course, had surgery to repair that torn biceps. And the Marlins hitting coach has done a terrific job this year. And this is a great inning for a hitting coach. The 3 walks, the 3 hits, the approach that all his hitters have taken. Last I saw him, he was in a lot of pain. He was headed for surgery. That was supposed to be this morning.
Yeah, we send our best to John Maley.
There's Raul Valdez. 0-2 to Sanabia.
36 pitches for Jonathan Nice in this inning. Sanabia threw 11.
Breaking ball misses inside. The Marlins, again, going to work against a lefty here. They will face a couple of lefties in Milwaukee in the last 2 games of that series. And down goes Sanabia. Nice labors through the first, and the Marlins hang a 5 on the board. Fish in the second. Let's check in with Allison Williams. Hey, Doug.
Thank you so much, Rich. I'm here with a very special guest, David Thompson. He's a junior at Archbishop McCarthy High School. He's a pitcher on their baseball team, and most recently he had his wish granted by the Make-A-Wish Foundation of South Florida. You battled through an immune deficiency. You had your wish granted last month. What was it?
I wish to have my pitching mechanics evaluated by legendary coach Tom House.
And how was that?
It was amazing. You know, he's a great guy. You know, everything was just amazing experience. The Make-A-Wish Foundation's amazing. They set up everything. I felt like a king for a week, so it was really exciting.
And this was like a biomedical evaluation, right? This was very technical.
It was biomechanics.
Biomechanics.
It's okay. It's very it's really scientific, and even I don't even understand all of it. It's very in-depth, yes.
But you got a lot out of it?
Oh, I got tons out of it. You know, it really has improved my game a ton, even in a small margin of time. You know, the second I came back, I pitched for the Archbishop pitching coach a little bit, and the first thing he had to say was how much better I got just in a couple weeks. So it was really good for my game.
David, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. And also here tonight is Richard Kelly. He's the VP and COO of Make-A-Wish Foundation of South Florida. And Richard, I know David is such a special case because a lot of times you have kids that wish for trips or to meet a celebrities, but his wish was really unique.
It's so unique, and we love these kinds of wishes. We love all the wishes that we do, but David's just so unique, baseball related, and he's getting better, and it's a wish that he just keeps on giving.
They're also rewarding, but especially for someone who chooses a wish that can benefit their future, right?
Yeah, absolutely, and we're looking forward to David maybe someday pitching in the majors.
And David, also a good night for you tonight here. You got to throw out the first pitch, and you're a pitcher, so was there a little extra pressure doing that?
Yeah, I had all my friends, you know, my two best friends in front of me, Andrew and David, you know, they were all just like, if you don't throw a pitch, you know, we're going to rank on you forever. You know, I had friends at home watching, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I thought I did a good job.
You did a very good job.
Thank you very much.
And David, thank you so much for your time. Richard Kelly, thank you for your time. Make-A-Wish Foundation, such a great organization here in South Florida. Rich, Tommy, back to you guys.
Allison, that is a terrific story, and I like the finish of the story. While the family was still at the airport, there's an elite team here in South Florida that saw some of the television coverage, and the coach called and invited David to join the squad. And Tom House is one of the revolutionary.
Oh, he's Tom House, been around a long time with Texas.
Yep.
Very unique in his styles, and very well respected.
House, one of the first guys to do that. I know Rick Peterson, now the Brewers pitching coach, former Met pitching coach, was very much into the biomechanics of pitching as well. 1-1 pitch coming. Sanabia gets it. Now, while Adel was talking, how about the play by Ozzie Martinez?
Can we say Ozzie Martinez again? The play he made on the ball hit by Dave Wright, he's been smiling ever since he made that play. Watch this. Up the middle, looks like it's going to be into center field. He picks it from his knee, gets right at first base. That is just tremendous by the young shortstop, Ozzie Martinez.
Here's Lucas Duda. And Sanabria misses outside. Duda, a USC guy. So Lucas Duda plays on the USC team. Tom House, the pitching
was
coach.
a USC guy before. He's the pitching coach now.
Yeah. It all ties together.
I like the way you do that, Rich. Just tie it all together.
Had a chance to talk to Lucas today. Very nice kid. And a lot of power, and he showed it off yesterday, and he drives that one to center. Maben ambles back, makes the catch. 11 pitches for Sanabria. Just 22 in the game. Ballpark sales headquarters. Just email saleshq@marlins.com with your contact information, and that's it. You're entered. 1-877-411-2012. Cameron Maben, second time through, and Maben drills one up the middle. That one is going to skip off the glove of Tejada, and I think Cameron's got himself another hit.
Very tough play to his backhand. It came up. Even if he catches it, it can be tough for him to throw out Cameron Maben. And he gets an error. That's a tough one.
Yikes.
Ooh. Keep in mind, see that ball come up? Came up, didn't even hit him on the glove.
I think that's one that's going to get changed.
They may change that. 36 pitches Nice had to throw in the first inning. Sanabria has thrown 22 in his 2 innings.
Here is Martinez. And Ozzie, after that spectacular play, you got Maben at first with good speed. Ozzie gets jammed. Davis with a dive, and he didn't quite get it. In fact, it bounced up, may have caught him in the neck or the face. Ozzie needs a new bat, and to the plate with a new stick. Of course, if you followed the Marlins over the last week, you know the story of Martinez. He was shot in the offseason.
He was actually in his car on his way to work out one morning.
In a case of mistaken identity, Edwin Rodriguez was there to see him in the hospital after he was shot. He was very fortunate, obviously. And here he is. Edwin said he had tears in his eyes. Edwin did. When he saw Martinez walk into the clubhouse for the first time as a big leaguer. Ozzie strikes out. And here comes Logan Morrison. Join us at Miller High Life this summer and help give returning vets a piece of the high life. Go to MillerHighLife.com for details. Morrison walked in the first, and so he's at 41 straight now, where he's reached base. Sends that one out to left. Dudah's there to make the catch.
Jonathan Neese went to high school in Ohio. He went to the same high school as Chad Billingsley of the Dodgers. Billingsley pitched last night for the Dodgers. Did not fare well.
Neese is 23. He was the player of the year in Ohio for 2 consecutive years.
Left-hander Clayton Richard of the Padres beat the Dodgers 6-0 through a shutout.
Maben is back.
One thing about Neese, he has yet to allow a stolen base this year. So I would say he's tough to steal against.
He's awful quick to the plate when he does come to the plate, and he does have a good move. And you add those two things together.
That's why.
Uggla drove in a run with a single back in the first. He's at 97 RBIs. He takes a fastball up, and it's 2-0. Maben's running, and Uggla's swinging. Down the line, Davis a long run. It's out of play. Maben was so far gone around second that he figured he'd just keep going to third.
You get to that point of no return, so you keep on going, especially with 2 out.
Davis gave it a run.
And I think with Maben and a guy like Neese, you go on first movement. Because he has such a good move, you kind of try to pick your spots.
Uggla ground ball to third, right backhands, fires across in time. A leadoff single, still out there on base. We'll hear from Joe Espada when we return. Third, this copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Marlins may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Marlins. Alex Sanabia has been efficient, effective, and has a 5-0 lead. Josh Tolley, Ruben Tejada, and then the pitcher spot coming up for the Mets. Tolley last night was 0 for 4.
Well, even Alex Sanabia in a loss last time out didn't pitch that badly in his 2-0 loss to the Cubs. Just didn't get much support, 5 2/3 innings. Gave up just 4 hits in those 2 runs.
And he ran into Ryan Dempster, who was spectacular. Three and 1. Tolley is 2 for 3 against Sanabia in their previous matchups, and he sends one to left. Morrison makes the catch. Joe Espada, third base coach, all mic'd up tonight.
Come on, Jim! Go ahead! Go ahead! Go ahead! One out. Make sure the ball get past the pitcher, okay? No go on Ike Davis and no go on the pitcher. Everywhere else you're going to go.
No go to Lomo. He ended up made an easy choice. He came in on the walk, issued to Mike Stanton.
Yeah, but remember, it was ball 4 and it wasn't called. Helms coming down, and he's not going to get Ruben Tejada. That's going to be a base hit. So Tejada is aboard with a bunt single. That's the first hit of the ball game for the Mets.
All of a sudden, the young second baseman, 20-year-old second baseman, starting to put together a few base hits. Last 17 games, he's hit over 300.
It's a great opportunity for him, and that's a position that the Mets would love to solidify with an aging Louis Castillo under contract for another year. Neese squares the bunt. Drops it down. Davis pounces on it. Thought about second. But Tejada runs well, and he got a good jump. Well, Davis gets the out. There are 2 outs, and it's up to the top of the order, Jose Reyes.
A lot of other runners. Now watch the jump that Tejada gets. A lot of other runners. Brad Davis goes to second base and gets the out. But Tejada is speedy, plus he got a good jump. And the good assessment by BD, you know, you got a 5-0 lead, get the out. And he went to first base.
I was talking with Edwin Rodriguez and Brandon Hyde, Marlins bench coach, about Davis and his performance behind the plate since he's been getting the bulk of the work after the Hayes injury. And both of them said this is what they saw in the minor leagues. A guy that's very calm behind the plate, very solid defensively. Last night he showed off a very strong and accurate throwing arm.
Threw out right, threw out Pecan.
Reyes with the count 2-0. Lines it into center field. That's a base hit, and that will produce a run. Tejada comes in to score, and the Mets are on the board.
Well, he fell behind 2-0. He came in with his fastball. Different score. If let's say it's a tie game a little later in the game, we've seen Alex Sanabia 2-0 throw his changeup. But certainly with the score 5-0 at the time, Reyes had a pretty good idea he was going to get the fastball.
Now Pagan, he flied out back in the first. Angel Pagan in his 3rd year with the Mets. Was talking to him about finally getting a chance to play every day. One of those guys that never really got that full opportunity to just go out there and show what he could do until he worked his way through the minors, been a utility outfielder, so to speak, in the big leagues. And yesterday he told me, he said, you know, I'm not bitter about it. He said, in fact, I'm glad my career has gone the way it has gone, because had I not had the adversity, had I not been able to get over the hurdles, I would not be the player that I am today.
And he still has a lot of baseball left in him at 28.
We were talking about Marlon Byrd with the Cubs, Andres Torres with the Giants. Guys with a similar career paths, and that they got their chance later in their careers. They hung in there. They were good enough to, in Bird's case, good enough to be in the big leagues, but not totally. A couple years ago was his first full season. Sanabia out in front, 1-2. He goes over to first.
And the Giants, they've been surviving without Andres Torres. That was a big blow. He was doing a terrific job at the top of their order, leading off.
He's due back.
He's due back soon.
Yeah, about a week. He had the appendectomy last week, and they said 12 to 14 days. Tyler Colvin, the Cub that was hit by the bat, was released from the hospital in Miami today and is fine and is headed home, and that's good news. You can hear the I got it, the battle of the I got it. And Maven yelled the loudest, and he got it.
Got it. Vámonos, 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 vámonos. Up, 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 up. Second base, ball, second base, second base. His stuff was not this good, man. He gotten better with time,
It's a 92 seamer.
And he cuts it a little bit, right?
It's 86 to 89 cutter.
Yeah. Curveball, he's got a breaking ball.
Gabby Sanchez bounces the first pitch of the bottom of the third to David Wright. Jonathan Neese has an out.
The astute Logan Morrison talking to Joe about the pitches of Jonathan Neese. 92 seamer, 86, 87 cutter. That's the best scouting report we can get right there.
Here's Stanton now. He takes a fastball for a strike. Mike walked with the bases loaded back in the first. 51 RBIs now for Stanton on the season. Wow, he scorched that ground ball. Reyes put the glove down and rolled right up into it. And even Reyes impressed. Full season ticket plans for 2012 in the new Marlins ballpark on sale now. You can choose from a variety of seating areas and amenities. Several premium areas are almost sold out. Call the new Marlins ballpark sales headquarters, 1-877-411-2012, and set up your appointment.
Stanton hit a line drive out to Reyes in Puerto Rico. Never forget it. Remember, Reyes ran off the field. It was the third out of the inning. Ran off the field with his glove off, shaking his hand.
Helms takes a breaking ball inside. West drove in 2 with a hit back in the first.
Oh, it's interesting. Nice appears to be settling down a little bit. He's given up 14 earned runs in the first inning this year.
There's another one of those foul balls, and we talked about it last night on Email Tuesday. That one went right over the head of Brad Davis on deck and into the stands. 1-2.
Yeah, foul balls like that are well-earned souvenirs.
Helms fights off the fastball, and it's 2-2. Marlins getting 5 runs in the first. The Mets on the board here in the third inning. Nice really wobbled early. His pitch count at 56 now. And Helms is caught looking. 1-2-3 inning. The first of the night for Nice. Let's flip the phone. Our AT&T trivia question. Cool shot of the moon in HD. Marlins season record for home runs at home. Home runs at home in a season.
Yeah, you got to throw Gary Sheffield in there.
Beltran, Wright, and Davis against Sanabria. There's a strike, and it's 1-1.
Saw a former Marlin today before the game, Moises Alou.
I saw Ricky Bonas.
Ricky Bonas in the clubhouse, a AAA pitching coach
for the Mets.
For the Mets in Buffalo. Moises Alou's the general manager in winter ball in the Dominican.
Beltran got a changeup and he jumps on it. Deep right field. Stanton to the wall. Oh, he almost got it. Almost got it. Beltran gets the home run. And the Mets are within 3 runs.
Well, for Beltran, just his 5th home run. Certainly has not had much playing time this year. Great timing by Mike Stanton. Watch this. I mean, he had it timed right, and he was pretty much in the right position. The ball was just out of his reach. Look at that. A look at the wall. There's the leap. Well, what a great effort.
David Wright now, and a fastball by Sanabria. Counts 1-1.
Sanabria has given up 5 home runs. That's the first one the Mets have hit against him.
Wright hit the bouncer up the middle that Ozzie Martinez made a sliding stop on, and then from his knees threw him out by less than a step. Beltran hitting his 5th homer of the season. Wright homered last night. He has 25 after a power outage year last year. He drives it to left center field. That ball's well hit. That ball is off the wall. Maven plays it in the corner. Wright will stop at second. And the Mets starting to swing the bats. We check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Hey, thank you very much, Rich. It's a pleasure to be with Mike Miller, who joined the Heat in July and is getting ready for what's going to be an unbelievable basketball season. Mike, good to see you first, and you had a good fastball in your opening throw here tonight.
We threw a little something. It was just a good. It was good to be out here. I mean, it's an opportunity to come out here and support a local team, and the Marlins got a lot of young talent too.
Mm-hmm. You were a pitcher in South Dakota, but this is a sport you really like playing. You just had to decide one or the other, right?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I really did. I enjoyed it. But in South Dakota, you only got limited options, and basketball took up a lot of my summers.
Well, how exciting is it now to be back in Florida? You were a star for the Gators there, as we see another base hit for the Mets, and obviously with all the hoopla surrounding the Heat with LeBron and Wade and company, Chris Bosh.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, obviously we got a great opportunity here. We got a lot of talent. But we got a lot of work ahead of us, and we're excited about that. We leave off the training camp on Monday, so we're excited getting the door, getting the gym, lock the doors, and get to work.
Fort Walton, is that right? You're going to be up at is it a military base? You're going to be at?
Yeah,
that's neat.
Yeah, it's a great experience for us because training camp is supposed to be the hardest time of the year and the hardest working, and you get to go around people that work harder than you. So it's a little bit of a motivation.
And probably because with everybody throwing all the accolades, you really have to do it because no one's handing you 82 wins right off the season, right?
No, they're trying to hand it to us. But, the best thing about our team here is we understand that, this is just the beginning. We obviously have enough talent to win a championship, but it takes a lot more than talent. So we got a lot of work ahead of us, and these guys are all hungry, and we're all in there working. So it should be a good, exciting year.
Well, the Marlins had a long enough jersey for you, I guess.
Yeah, they found one. I think they got hit to Josh Johnson.
All right, nice to see you.
All right, thanks.
All right, it's Mike Miller. Can't wait to watch Mike and the Heat all year long on Sun Sports. Back to you guys.
It's going to be a great season, that's for sure.
Our good friends, Eric Reed, Tony Fiorentino, they're going to have a blast this year.
Ball in a strike on Lucas Duda. He hits a high fly ball to right. Stanton won't have to climb the wall in this one. Wright is tagging. Stanton drifting in. And that's going to score a run. And the Marlins, who raced to a 5-0 lead, have seen the Mets creep back closer now. It's 5-3.
Well, and as you watch, you see the Mets having a better approach and better swings against Alex Sanabria. So he's going to have to get ahead a little bit more, change things up, maybe use his slider against the righties a little bit more.
Here's Josh Tolley now with Ike Davis over at first base. There's a lot going on in baseball tonight and a lot today as well. Of course, the Phillies and the Braves are back at it, scoreless in the bottom of the 4th inning. Tommy Hanson right now no hitting the Phillies. Scoreless ball game, bottom 4.
Roy Oswalt on the mound for the Phillies.
The Rays and Yankees. That's a 1-0 ball game. Tampa on top in the bottom of the 3rd.
How about congrats to the Minnesota Twins?
How about that?
Clinching their 6th American League Central title in the last 9 years.
That has become one of the flagship organizations in Major League Baseball.
Minnesota winning their 92nd game today.
And they did it today, I believe, with reserves. I think everybody got the day off.
They might have partied a little bit last night after clinching. They clinched the tie, and then later on in the evening, when they realized the White Sox lost, that clinched the whole thing.
Two and one to Tully. Runner goes, little hit and run, backing up his Ugla. The spinorama looked at second and threw to first. Speaking of spinorama, that was a who was the Chicago Blackhawk that used to do that? Because isn't Goldie stopping by here in the fifth inning?
Goldie will know Goldie's coming by in the fifth inning, so we'll ask him.
I think it's Denny Savard. Jim Holley, Detroit Red Wing aficionado, offering that one up.
Anything Detroit, Jim will offer up.
Arizona Diamondbacks have a new general manager.
Kevin Towers. I think a terrific move by the Diamondbacks. A lot of those players with the Padres are Kevin Towers' acquisitions when he was GM of the Padres.
Little fly ball to right. Stanton is there and makes the catch. Mets get a couple runs against Sanabria, including a home run by Carlos Beltran. By Maroney, South Florida. When you need a car, truck, or van, who are you going to call? 1-877-Maroney. By South Florida Ford. Visit southfloridaford.com for great offers. By Checkers, little place, big taste. By Corona, kick back, relax with an ice cold Corona and lime. Enjoy a Corona today. Tonight, Sun Life Stadium, Marlins have a 5-3 lead over the Mets, bottom of the fourth. Jonathan Neese was a hitter or two away from coming out of this game in the first inning. The Marlins scored 5 times. He settled down in the second, gave up just a single, and went 1-2-3 in the third. He's retired 6 in a row. Davis fouls it back. It's 0-2.
Well, a couple of things have happened. All of a sudden, he's gotten in a groove. Momentum has shifted over to the Mets side. They've had better swings against Sanabria.
Breaking ball came a long way, but not far enough for Brian O'Nora. Yeah, you can hear Davis say that ball was in. That discussion will continue when Brad is back behind the plate. But Neese now 7 in a row.
And you can see number 4, it was inside.
May have been a little payback because you see number 3 was a strike and it was called the ball.
Sometimes that happens. It's funny how you talk to umpires, and I believe them when they say this, that they don't make up a call, but I think subconsciously it just happens.
Here is Sanabria. And he takes a strike. The Twins are already setting their playoff rotation.
Which game does Carl Pavano have?
I believe game 2. I think they go with Liriano in game 1.
Now, if it stands the way it is, who would they play? Because the Yankees have a 2.5 game lead over the Rays. Certainly, Texas is going to win at the West.
Well, whoever is if the division leader, if the Yankees have a better record than the Twins, they would get the Rangers, right?
Yeah, because if I'm the Twins, I don't want to pitch Pavano in New York. I think I'd rather him pitch in Minnesota.
I think the Twins match up better numbers-wise against the Rays than they do the Yankees anyways. And Sanabia goes down on strikes. 3 consecutive strikeouts for Nice. He has set down 8 in a row, but he is yet to answer the AT&T trivia question.
We haven't thrown out a lot of choices. I threw out a Gary Sheffield.
I'll go Miggy.
Yeah, it's a good. How about Dan Uggla? Wow, how about Dan Uggla? 21 home runs at home in 2009. See, now, because Uggs is the all-time Marlins home run leader, 151, anytime there's a power or home run Marlins trivia question, he's your go-to guy. Yeah, you got a new go-to guy now.
Ball and a strike to Maben. Maben singled in the first. Hit a ball up the middle that we thought was a single, but the official scorer gave an error to Ruben Tejada as he tried to backhand a ball. 2-1. So it's Francisco Liriano. He's 14-8. He'll get game 1. Carl Pavano game 2. Brian Dunsing, it sounds like, gets game 3. Reyes has to hurry in the dirt, and it skips by. I think Maben was going to beat that throw, but it's an error.
He's getting no love because of his speed. He is getting no love because of his speed.
Let's see this again. See if he's at the bag when the ball gets to the glove.
All right, scorekeeper, watch this baby.
Good throw has him.
It's bang, bang, but he rushes it because of the speed of Cameron Maben.
See, I think
the one to second was more of a hit than that one. But one of the two has to be a hit. One of the two has to be a hit.
Yeah, Tommy, just like umpires, scorekeepers do not have makeup calls, all right?
Okay.
Just like you just
How about a wake-up call then?
You have free range during the commercial to go down and lobby. But I'm with you. I think the ball in the second is more of a hit than that last one. I think that's an E6. And it's Reyes' second error of this series. Jose Reyes now with 15 errors.
Rich, we rant because we love.
Calling a strike to Ozzie Martinez. How much playing time will Ozzie Martinez get from this point forward? Is Hanley's elbow?
I think he'll get a lot. He had a solid year, hit over 300 for Jacksonville at champs. He scored 90 runs, had 28 doubles. Hitting the number 2 spot for Jacksonville all year.
Obviously, the Marlins would like to have Hanley Ramirez out there, but until that elbow is healthy, Hanley's average right at 300. $12 games left, including this one, in the 2010 season.
That's the one thing about Nice. He doesn't yet, he may someday, he's only 23, fall into that soft tossing lefty category because he gets it 90-91. And then he has that pretty good cutter inside.
Ozzie sends that to center. Beltran back and there and makes the catch. Marlins leave a runner and lead it 5-3. Alex Sanabia with a fastball for a strike to Jonathan Neese. Our Subway 5th inning. One with a $5 footlong. Play hard, eat fresh. A 5-3 lead, and Sanabia misses inside. The changing of the seasons in South Florida.
It's like the changing of the guards, Rich.
Ends our annual visit from the voice of the Florida Panthers.
Good to see you, Goldie.
Steve Goldstein is here.
Great to see you guys. How are you?
Good.
What did you do on your summer vacation?
Oh, boy. A lot of time with the kids, a lot of time hanging out, talking to people.
There's a roller out towards Ugla. And you're getting ready to go. Give us the timeline for camp and then when they drop the puck for real.
Yeah, win last night for the Panthers, starting the preseason in Carolina, 4-1.
Is that your first preseason game?
That was number one.
Good.
Of course, we're back, as you see, on Fox Sports Florida. High definition for, I believe, 71 of the 72. And, yeah, we're a couple of weeks away. We'll be out in Edmonton that Sunday night. And then the home opener, October 16th against Tampa Bay. And a lot of changes have been made for the Panthers. Not with our broadcast. You see everybody's back, which is a good thing.
let me give you a tip, Goldie. You and Bill and Lindsay, too.
Okay.
High definition, a lot of HD, extra makeup.
Brush
extra
it up.
makeup.
I don't know if that's a compliment or just advice.
It's just advice.
It's a little shot. Probably a little shot.
Just advice.
Yeah.
Just advice.
But it should be exciting, guys. A lot of changes. New general manager Dale Talon, accountability now for the Panthers, some new players, and I think there's a renewed sense of enthusiasm after last year.
Style of play change, or with the youth, does that bring anything on the ice, and does it change the whole dynamics of the team?
I think what needs to change is the passion for the game. Bringing it every night, hating to lose. I think that's something that got lost last year with this team. Like, losing was almost acceptable for some of these players, and I think the attitude's going to be a lot different. As far as the system, Pete DeBoer wants to go. He wants everybody to go, jump up, good hard forecheck, have the defensemen activate. They don't want to sit back and try to win games 2-1. They know it's about entertaining the fans as well at the Bank Atlantic Center here in South Florida. So I think they're gonna go after it, and a lot of opportunity for guys to get a spot with this team.
Now, it's Pete's third year, correct?
Yes.
So starting to feel a little more comfortable?
I would think so.
Running the show?
One thing about Pete DeBoer, and it's great having a coach like that, he was unhappy all year last year because the team was losing, and that's what you want, And he said, "Hey, guys that are fine with this, I don't want them around here." So you like that attitude.
Jose Reyes goes after a Sanabia changeup, and it looks like Sanabia is back on track here in the 5th inning. All right, Goldie, just a few clips to get everybody in the mood.
Now, there's, you saw Michael Frolik there, who's a guy who's going to be on the first line along with David Booth. They really need those guys to step up big. Booth being back from the concussion.
I'm going to ask you about the concussion. Is he healthy now?
He's 100% right now, Tommy. He looks good. He feels good. But as you know, he's going to have to go out there and get banged around, take some hits. But I think Booth will be fine. And, the speed, the energy, the enthusiasm that he brings to the team, it really is infectious. And they're going to need him. Stephen Weiss, Michael Frolik, that's your top line. I'm thinking hopefully these guys get between 85 and 90 goals between them.
Sanabia working on Angel Pagan. He drills one to the gap right center. Maven won't get this one. And it bounces up onto the blue tarp. Pagan has himself a double.
Too bad the Mets can't pull the goalie, huh? They're starting to come back a little bit, get a little closer.
They got a little momentum right now.
They do. I heard you. Yeah.
Now, as a kid growing up, who was your baseball team?
My team was the Mets. Mookie and Hubie and, Mex and Straw and Doc. Those are my guys back in the mid-'80s. Tommy. And Rich, the Mets owned New York in the 80s. The Yankees weren't winning very much, and the Mets were the team in the Big Apple, especially in 86.
Yeah, that has changed, hasn't it?
Oh, big time.
Beltran fouls it back. Beltran drilled one to right for his 5th homer, a ball that Mike Stanton almost got. Stanton climbed the wall, reached into the seats, and it just evaded his glove. Do you have a Mike Stanton on the team?
Well, it's interesting. I was thinking about that the other day. There are some guys that are coming up. The goaltender, Jacob Markstrom, who will get some games this year, but Bokun is still the number 1 guy. Number 1 pick this year, Eric Goodbranson, big defenseman, smart kid, all those types of things.
Wow, there's a lot of things going on there. Beltran called timeout just as Pagan was starting to steal second.
Yeah, he kind of messed up his own teammate.
And Sanabria
Pagan looked like he got a good jump.
What is he, an NFL coach? Someone ready to get a field goal? I mean, what is that? But, yeah, so there's a couple players, Rich, that are coming up. I don't know if they make an impact this year. You know, fans don't want to be patient. We know that. You know, when the Marlins talked about Stanton a couple of years ago, but no, go get Manny Ramirez. Well, everyone's glad they didn't trade Mike Stanton now, aren't they?
Absolutely.
I would hope so.
Oh, Gabby! A leaping grab. Goldie, you want to hang out another half inning?
I got nothing else to do, my friend.
Atta baby. Glove save and a beauty by Gabby Sanchez. Is all mic'd up for us tonight.
Could have used his glove on that one. It was in. He could have used his glove. And you in. And you had a great jump on the ball.
Well, I had a great jump after I tried it and missed. I looked up.
Yeah. And absolutely. It was bunny hard and you great jump. And he's not running that you had him. But you know, and another thing is, he's really.
Logan Morrison lines it into left center field. Steve Goldstein, the voice of the Florida Panthers, with us again. If there were a Marlins player that I'd like to see out on the ice, it's that guy, Logan Morrison.
He's been something else, hasn't he? I mean, and he seems like such a good guy as well.
He's a great guy, plays hard. He plays the way you would want all 25 guys to play on the team.
That's why, and we heard this about him last year, every step of the way, every level in the minor leagues, every team that he's played on, he has been the team leader. And we were also told it wasn't because he talks a lot, it's just the way he plays, everyone just kind of falls in behind him.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. In hockey, you know, and the guys are living together like in baseball every single day. You just need people like that. You know, if there's a losing streak, and Tommy, you know from playing all those years, you know, a guy to loosen things up, or if there's a winning streak, you know, a guy that can keep everybody even keel. And you really need those types of people inside your locker room, your clubhouse, and he seems to be that. Panthers still, you know, trying to get more of those types of players. That they brought in some guys this year to do that, though.
Now you bring some in, you lose some. You lose a guy like Nathan Horton.
Yeah.
How do you replace that?
You know, interesting, Tommy, is, you know, broadcaster for the team, and it's a great question, by the way. You're trying to take Don Cherry's job. I'm not very knowledgeable. Tommy obviously went to tsn.ca and checked that out. You know, Horton scored 20 goals a year for 5 straight years, but you know, for me personally, he should be a 30 to 40 goal guy.
Stop laughing.
He's cracking up. And he knows who Nathan Horton is. It's very impressive.
He's been working on that question all night. He said, I can't wait till Goldie gets here. Ugler rips one down the left field. Not enough juice to get out. It's going to bounce and land out, and Ugla's got himself a double. Morrison has to go back to third base.
Fox Sports Florida powers that be. If Bill Lindsay has a cold, you know who can step in.
That's
it's Tommy
right.
Hunt. But, you know, Horton is a guy that kind of brought that, you know, lack of real passion to the game. And I think especially when you have a guy that talented, you know, your best players have to want it, have to want to get after it, have to want to be there every single day, even when the times are tough.
There are guys, Goldie, in every sport, obviously we see in baseball, you see in hockey, that have that talent, put up good numbers, but they might not be guys you want on your team because of the way they put up those numbers and approach it. By the way, this is exactly what the Marlins need to take a little of that momentum away from the Mets and score here. And they have a great opportunity.
Gabby Sanchez, his third at bat against Jonathan Neese. Gabby walked to load the bases in almost this exact same spot back in the first. Bounced out back in the third. Infield's halfway. And Gabby looking for a pitch he can hit in the air. Fouls it back and out of play. And the count's 1-1. And Sanchez adding to his resume last night. You see Manny Acosta in the bullpen. 81 RBIs now. The 19 homers, the 3-run shot last night. Popped up. Let's see if there's room for Davis. There is. And that's a big out to get for Neese.
Who looks good this year, Goldie, in the division?
You know, Washington's great. You know, Alexander Ovechkin. One thing about the NHL, you got Ovechkin, you got Sidney Crosby. These are dynamic players, crossover players. You don't have to be a hockey fan in order to really appreciate what they do. So, Capital's going to be great. Tampa's got a new GM. Atlanta's got a new GM. Florida's got a new GM. Everyone's trying to catch up to Washington. I think the competition in the division is going to be super. And I think, you know, Washington, all things equal, will win the division, and I think another team out of the Southeast this year will make the playoffs, whether that's Tampa, Atlanta, the Panthers. You know, we'll see. They'll all be right in there. But, again, we get it going October 10th, Sunday night in Edmonton. The next night will be in Vancouver, and then Saturday night, October 16th, at home against Tampa. We got the pregame show with Craig. Every home game a half hour before.
You got Frank and Allison along?
Yeah, we got everybody. We got a big crew. It's outstanding.
Do you guys have a crack staff?
We do.
You do?
Yes, that would be a proper word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a crack staff.
And who's on that crack staff?
Oh, cast of thousands.
Want to throw out a few names?
Many.
Somebody.
We have crack staffers all over the country. We have an email Tuesday.
West Coast, we have West Coast crack staffers.
Tommy Hutton's West Coast peeps. That's what we got going.
That's right. Pasadena, shout out.
There you go. Outstanding.
Well, remember the last time, the other night, that was actually late afternoon when the Cardinals elected to walk Mike Stanton and load the bases. It was Brad Davis who hit a grand slam. Now it's Wes Helms who's up there in this situation with one down.
Helms had a bases-loaded situation in the first. He drove in 2 of the Marlins' 5 runs. Now the Mets are going to sit back for a double play ball. And so Helms is up. Almost the same spot. Neese about to throw his 90th pitch of the night. Helms drives it to right field. That'll get the job done. Pagan is back, makes the catch. Runners at second and third tag up. Morrison scores. Ugla's at third. And Helms is driven in 3. It's a 6-3 Marlins lead.
Good job by Wes getting the ball out over the plate. A pitch he could get into the air deep enough. Listen to Joe Espada.
Go ahead.
See, at third base coach, he has to work with a couple of runners. He has to send the runner in from third base and then pick up the runner at second to get him over to third.
So Stanton and Ugla at the corners. Here's Davis. He takes that one inside. Alex Sanabia is due up next. Brian Sanchez is up in the bullpen. There's a strike. 1-1. Remember, Davis had that discussion with Brian Onora on that last called third back in the fourth. Neese misses up. Acosta is ready in the Mets pen. Do you think the Marlins, if Davis reaches,
I think they'll pinch hit.
Would pinch hit for Sanabia?
Yeah, I think the bullpen's in pretty good shape tonight. So I think that's why Sanchez is up. could be a decoy
so that the Mets
to let them
pitch
to Davis, even though Sanabia is on deck. Could be a decoy.
That's why I asked. And you see Sanchez. Count 2-2. He comes inside. That's where he got his strikeout last at bat. Full count now means Stanton will be moving from first with 2 outs. Davis drove in a run with a ground ball out in the first. Stanton on the move, pitch in the dirt. Now let's see if the Marlins were bluffing. Sanabia, yeah, he just makes a U-turn. He heads back into the dugout, and Edwin's going to bring up a pinch hitter.
Well, I think the complete game, the shutout the other day at Chris Volstad, prior to this series, certainly gave the bullpen a nice little breather. So Hector Luna, who lately has been swinging the bat pretty well, he's got a couple of hits his last 2 ABs. One of those a home run.
And so Luna comes up, and the bullpen will get the rest of the ball game for the Marlins. Sanabia still can pick up a win if the Fish can hold this lead. Dan Worthen is out to talk to Nice. So you're going to Edmonton to start the season. What a great town. That used to be in the Pacific Coast League when I was calling games in that league.
Really? You like Edmonton?
Oh, like Edmonton.
Not a big fan, got to be honest with you.
Well, wait a minute, though. Better to go to Edmonton in October.
That's true.
Than January.
Yeah.
Well, next time you...
Silver lining.
Let me give you a few places to go. I know it's not as fun as Calgary because we got to go during the Stampede.
Yeah.
And the Calgary Stampede is that's something. That is a party.
You know what? One of the things that it's in July, Stampede, and one of the things Ryan Dempster did one year when he was here, he took the All-Star break and went to the Calgary Stampede.
Oh, wow. He came back okay?
He came back okay. He was all right.
Yeah, Dempster, a Canadian boy, Vancouver, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He's Western Canada. Got to lift the cup in Chicago this year.
Oh, and the Blackhawks won it.
Yes,
okay.
They came out to Wrigley Field, and they encouraged him.
He knows the rules that you're not supposed to do it if you're not a hockey player, if you're not on that team. But they egged him on. They said, go ahead and do it. And he said it was one of the highlights of his career.
Now, that's one of the exciting things for the Panthers. You know, Dale Talon is the guy that really put that Chicago team together. And fortunately, he was available to come here. The Blackhawks let him leave, and now the general manager here in Florida.
1-1 to Luna. A swing and a miss, and Nice is out in front, counts 1-2. Marlins trying to hang another loss on Nice, and he strikes out Luna. All right, Goldie, good luck.
Rich, always a pleasure to see you.
We'll look forward to...
have a good season.
We'll look forward to Edmonton. by Just for Men Hair Color. Tommy, we're flying to Milwaukee tonight. It'll be a early arrival tomorrow morning.
Early arrival at the Pfister.
Yeah. And it will be a full flight, that's for sure. Into Milwaukee for 4, into Atlanta for 3, and then home for Pittsburgh. Just as we look at the Marlins schedule, you can live forward with Just for Men Hair Color. So the bullpen takes over, and the Marlins need to get 4 innings out of them to bring this one home. 6-3 lead in the 6th. First over the ropes was Brian Sanchez.
Well, Rich, another reason, if you think about it, the Mets got a couple of runs in the 4th inning, hit some balls hard. 5th inning, a double by Pregame. He hit the ball well, and that final out, the line drive hit by Beltran to first base. So they were squaring up some balls, hitting the ball pretty well off Sanabria. So Edwin decided to get the bullpen active.
David Wright, Ike Davis, Lucas Duda. Fastball from Sanchez. Started him with a fork, then threw the fastball by him. And with Sanchez, especially if he has a quick 6th inning, you could probably get 2 innings out of him. No-2 forkball in the dirt. That game in Philadelphia is now in the 6th inning, scoreless, as the Phillies try to sweep the Braves, push another game between themselves and Atlanta.
And damper the Braves' wild card hopes as well.
The Phillies have won 9 in a row. They have a 5-game lead in the East.
And the Braves, coming into play, have a 1-game lead in the wild card
over the Padres. Now the Padres in the West trail the Giants by half a game. Padres won in Los Angeles last night. Giants won in Chicago last night. I think the St. Louis Cardinals are just about done. Pittsburgh 8-1 over the Cardinals in the 5th.
Wow.
It's not the mother of all scoreboards, but it's close. It's got the East and the wild card.
I think, Rich, and I don't know where he'll land, but just from things I've read, the way the Cardinals have been playing, I think this might be it for Tony La Russa in St. Louis. You know, he's on a 1-year contract.
Maven calling for it, makes the catch. Hold that thought.
Okay.
Jiffy Lube Marlins Fan Fest, presented by TD Bank, is on Saturday, February 19th at Sun Life Stadium from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Fan Fest is free for all fans. Includes a full day of player autograph session, interactive games, live music, town hall meetings, and fun for the entire family. It's the last Fan Fest ever, thank goodness, in this ballpark. Think about that. Here's Ike Davis. Now, there's a question we forgot to ask Claude Delorme. In 2012, before the season starts, will the stadium be ready to host FanFest?
I think it will be. I mean, you're going to open the season there. It's going to be ready enough to hold a Fan Fest, which would be absolutely tremendous.
Because pretty soon you're going to have pick-a-seat days there where fans can actually go to the ballpark and sit in the actual location and pick their seat.
I'm still holding my Tony La Russa thought. You threw me off.
I'm sorry. I had business to do.
No, I've heard rumors to that effect that this might be it. He's had a long run in St. Louis. Of course, Joe Torre stepping down in Los Angeles. Joe Torre could surface in St. Louis, where he once managed.
Well, there was rampant speculation yesterday after someone asked Joe Torre, if the Mets were to call you, would you answer the call? And Torre said, yeah. I mean, if the Wilpons called me, I'd answer the phone.
Who he's known for years.
Right. But that led everyone to think that, oh, well, then Joe wants to manage the Mets. And Torre said, absolutely not. That's not what I meant. And Torrey felt so badly that it got to that point that he picked up the phone and called Jerry Manuel and apologized.
He apologized to Jerry Manuel, yeah.
Now, I don't... It's a class move by Torrey. He, in essence, was apologizing for the press, taking what he said and running with it. But I think Joe probably felt badly that he wasn't stronger in his statement, saying, "Yeah, I'd talk to him, but I don't want to manage him."
And Joe, if anybody, knows the New York press as well as anyone.
Of course, today Ken Rosenthal reporting on Ozzie Guillen in Chicago, with all the rumblings out of Chicago that Guillen apparently wants an extension on his contract. Whether or not he gets it may determine whether or not he leaves. And Rosenthal speculating that a possible landing point for Guillen, if he does leave, might be in South Florida, where he lives.
And if you want to play chess and move everybody around, if in fact, I don't know if he would land here, but if in fact Ozzie Guillen did not remain with the White Sox, Tony La Russa could go to the White Sox.
Jerry Reinsdorf says the biggest mistake he ever made was allowing Hawk Harrelson in his one ill-fated year as general manager, giving him the green light to fire Tony La Russa.
So he even says that, knowing that Hawk is his play-by-play announcer on TV.
Yeah, well, that's why he was the GM just 1 year. And La Russa was fired by the White Sox, and I think hired a day or two later by the Oakland Athletics, and has been winning games ever since. You can put it on the board.
Yes.
Sanchez steps off.
So a lot of managerial changes will take place this offseason.
Ground ball in a right field, a base hit. Lucas Duda with a single. I think the managerial candidates out there and the managerial market will be sexier than the free agent market.
Early on, things may change a little bit January and February. And what is the state of Edwin Rodriguez, who has been fantastic and done a terrific job as the Marlins skipper?
Well, two things. You're right. He has done a fantastic job. And the other is whether it's the Marlins or anybody else in baseball, everyone's been able to get a good look at him as a big league manager. Liner to center. Maven is there. Sanchez works a scoreless sixth. 6-3. Marlins on top. Of the Mets in the bottom of the sixth. Joe Espada is all mic'd up.
All right, Lomo, short fly ball. I might force you here, kid. Okay, we need this run right here. All right, we're going on the ground here everywhere, Momo.
Oh.
Joe Espada's been entertaining tonight, all mic'd up. Jonathan Neese is still in this ballgame. If you were to say Neese would be around longer than Alex Sanabria.
Is that a surprise? He had a nice little run the second through the fourth inning, 2, 3, and 4. Marlins were able to add on. That was a big run in the fifth inning to extend the lead to 3 now.
Manny Acosta is still warming up. Neese is at 102 pitches. Maben, Ozzie Martinez, and Logan Morrison. Marlins trying to go to 76 and 75.
You know, the only rookie that has started more games this year than Jonathan Neese is the left-hander in Baltimore, Brian Mattis. So Neese has started more games than any rookie in the National League.
One and 2 to Maben. I think we saw Oliver Perez on that shot down in the bullpen. A rare sighting. Maben swings and misses. Let's freeze something. It's the Coors Light 6th inning. Oh, Ozzie's play. Ozzie Martinez. Now watch the throw. That's sweet. Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze can.
Hit the ball well last time up, too. Hit a line drive into center field.
Neese misses out with a fastball.
Ozzie participated, Rich, in that Futures game this year in Anaheim just prior to the All-Star game. Logan Morrison did. So Ozzie played for Cookie Rojas.
And a plus defender. You talked about the left side of that Jacksonville infield with Matt Dominguez at third and Ozzie at short. And Ozzie walks. Osvaldo Martinez. And here comes Morrison, who is 1 for 2.
This may be the last hitter that Neese faces, even though Logan Morrison is an over 380 hitter against lefties. He's had a nice homestand. Look at his numbers on the season. On the homestand, Lomo 11 for 31.
Lunch with Lomo is scheduled.
That has been confirmed.
Is it the Broad House that's close to the Pfister?
Mater's, a well-known German restaurant.
Oh, Ryan Braun's got a place. Ball and a strike to Morrison. Marlins will face a couple right-handers to open that series in Milwaukee. It just seems odd that we've not been to Milwaukee, and it's we're entering getting close to the last week of the season.
I'll see Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun, Casey McGee.
The best pitching matchup of the series is the first game. It's Giovanni Gallardo going for the Brewers and Anibal Sanchez going for the Fish.
We're going to see a young prospect and phenom of the Brewers in the second game, Mark Rogers. That was the young pitcher we were talking about that we got an email on last night about the scouting report.
A strike. Lomo heads back to the plate, and it's 3-2. And it was a strike.
Most of the time, though, that pitch isn't called a strike in that area of the zone.
Little tapper over the mound. Reyes just gets it. But it moves Ozzie up to second. Morrison is out 6-3.
Well, he got that strike call, then he came in and made a really good pitch. That's always frustrating for a hitter. Reyes makes a nice play. It cut in front of the bag with the runner, Ozzie Martinez, right there near him. So he made a good play to get the out.
End of the line for Jonathan Neese. He's on his way out. So are we. Our Marooney called to the pen.
When you need a car, truck, or van.
little guys go. The little chorizo out in front. Milwaukee for 4. There's Ryan Braun, the former Hurricane. We got the turn-back jerseys. Casey McGee, Corey Hart, then Atlanta, as the Braves will be fighting in that wild card race, or if they can pick up a game tonight, trying to stay in the East race. Ugla sees a breaking ball from Acosta. Open up his at-bat. Manny Acosta in for Jonathan Neese.
Yeah, you knew that Dan Ugla would see the right-hander. Curves and sliders along with his fastball.
Ugla tonight is doubled. RBI single has bounced out.
I would say, having seen Jonathan Neese, this for the 5th time, the Marlins adjusted. The first 3 games that he pitched against the Marlins this year, he gave up 6 earned runs. He's given up 13 earned runs in the last 2 games. So it's a combination of him not throwing as well and the Marlins making some adjustments.
He's out in front of Ugla 0-2. And it's strike 3. Down goes Ugla. And Ozzy's left out at second base. 6-3 pitch going to the 7th. Well, the 2011 season will start with the Jiffy Lube Marlins Celebrity Golf Classic on Wednesday the 16th at Parkland Golf and Country Club, February 16th. Marlins players, coaches, other celebrities will have a fun-filled day of golf in a terrific place, the Parkland Golf and Country Club. And it all benefits the Marlins Community Foundation. 1-877-MARLINS, the number to call.
You were right. Brian Sanchez, 16 pitches last inning. So he's in good shape to give Edwin another.
Speaking of the Marlins Community Foundation, the Marlins today announcing that they have found a new executive director for the Community Foundation. Alfredo Mesa has been appointed executive director of the Marlins Community Foundation. Pop-up. Helms doesn't see it. Davis is there, and he makes the catch. BD bails out West. We check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Hey, Rich, thank you very much. You know, the guys like to have a lot of fun around the team, and it's a long season. And we just saw something, I don't know if you noticed this, behind Edwin Rodriguez, and it's a little sign. Somebody put up this sign here. Why is the first base umpire wearing a V-neck shirt? They put it right in that spot so they knew they were going to shoot it somehow when we were shooting the coaches or Joe Espada or the skipper. And look, Chris Guccione has got the collar tucked in, it appears. Although, the first look from where they were, they probably thought he was in one of those V-neck sport type shirts. And I have to guess, it's got to be Will Ullman who put the sign up. On my list, maybe Hensley, I don't know, Rivera, but I think it's Ullman.
Ullman has the time.
It's got to be Ullman.
Yeah, he's got the time.
He's got time on his hands. The first few innings he's usually in here, but that's pretty funny. From my seat here, not looking at the camera, and probably from where you guys are looking, it does look like a T-shirt.
Well, Craig, you are down in the first base well, right?
Yeah.
So, like, between innings, if you called over to Guccione, you could ask him.
I guess I could. I think on the tight shot, it looks like the collar is in.
Oh, yeah.
It's tucked in.
Oh, yeah. It's a polo. That's what you do when you go get a haircut
right.
with your polo shirt on. They just flip the collar.
They flipped it in, but why? Right? Is that what you want to know?
Maybe he just got a haircut.
From...
See, home plate Brian O'Nora.
Maybe he spilled something on his collar.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a fashion statement. Maybe he likes the look.
It's different. It's not even hot tonight. It's a beautiful night.
Between innings, you can ask him.
All right. You're allowed to talk to us? Between innings?
Just yell real loud. Try to get him to come over. Get him to make the move. Jesus Feliciano, the pinch hitter here.
Sanchez working here in the 7th with 1 out. And a fastball clipped him. Sanchez not real happy. Feliciano caught him right on the thigh.
Yeah, you like to get that out. You hate to just clip him that way and then get to the top of the order. Brian trying to go in with a fastball and just got away from him a little bit.
So there's Feliciano down at first base. And now it's top of the order time with Reyes and then Pagan. That Yankee-Rays game is delayed by rain. Still in the 3rd inning, 1-0 Tampa Bay on top. Phillies and Braves are still scoreless in the top of the 7th. Reyes goes after a fastball and fouls it off. Reyes has got another year on his contract, and the Mets have got they got a lot of decisions to make, and they've got a lot of contracts to try to get out from under. One of them is their closer, Francisco Rodriguez, who was back in jail again today. He was charged with contempt of court for sending text messages to his girlfriend in violation of a court order of protection. He was arraigned today at Queens County Criminal Court and then was freed on bail later in the afternoon.
That's a contract the Mets certainly would like to get out of. Reyes, he's going to be back. He's just 27. Still has a lot of years left. If he stays healthy, he's what you need at shortstop.
Agreed. That's not one of the contracts that they're worried about. Gorgeous pitch. Reyes swings and misses at a forkball.
And they certainly hope to get Jason Bay back. Yeah, sure. He's been out so long, you almost forget about him. There's that forkball. Remember, he was fooled badly in the first inning and struck out on the snobby at changeup. So very similar. And twice Reyes has struck out. He struck out 3 times tonight.
Angel Pagan now. Pagan has flied out twice and has doubled.
Tell you the job Brian Sanchez has done this year. We've talked about his numbers. He too is one because of that fork splitter that he has, can get lefties out. Lefties hitting 198 against him. Righties hitting 195 against him.
Ground ball short. Ozzie has it. Fires over to first. Good strong arm. And 2 very good innings from Brian Sanchez.
All right, Rich, the Marlins did a lot of damage in the first inning. Got going with an RBI single by Dan Uggs with 97 RBIs now. Wes Helms in a bases-loaded situation. A double into the gap. 2 more runs came in to score. That was nice and comfortable for Alex Sanabria, but Carlos Beltran put a charge one, just missed by Mike Stanton. Lucas Duda gets a sacrifice fly. Well, the Mets were able to battle back, but the Marlins got an insurance run in the 5th inning. And now it is 6-3. A 3-run lead. Bullpens are both busy now.
And we invite you to visit LandRoverUSA.com. Sean Green takes over for Manny Acosta. This was a Jonathan Neese start. Green a sidewinder.
A sidewinder with good sink.
Gabby walked and scored back in the first. Pulls that one foul. Green was called up from Buffalo. Pitched 17 games down in Buffalo.
You know who I heard had a good year in Buffalo? Justin the intern. Went there and worked radio for the AAA affiliate of the Mets.
Swing and a miss. Gabby goes down. A reminder to stay tuned for tonight's postgame show, where you can watch your favorite Marlins replay moment from this season, as voted on by you, the fans. Is it the Donnie Murphy pinch hit walk-off homer? Is it the win in Puerto Rico?
We may have to come up, Rich, have to put our heads together, certainly with the crack staff, with the email of the year when we have our final email Tuesday in Atlanta.
A good idea. Would you agree that Justin the intern was the intern of the year last year?
No question.
I mean, any intern that gets a job doing AAA games on the radio, that's a pretty good year for an intern. Justin did a little bit of everything around here. Worked in the clubhouse. Was bat boy. We saw him an awful lot on the baselines.
So he no longer has intern status.
No, I think he rose above that when he got. Who was the actress that was here that Justin the intern cozied up next to? Jessica Biel. Remember Jessica Biel was here? And I think there was a player or two that sent Justin over to get an autographed ball. And Justin struck up a conversation with Jessica Biel.
And Justin's popularity grew in the clubhouse, too, with the guy.
His stature.
Yeah.
Well, you were right about Sean Green. Not a comfortable AB.
Especially if you're a right-handed hitter.
He gets a strike on Wes Helms. Helms has driven in 3 runs tonight. 2-run double and a sacrifice fly. Of course, Helms is headed back to Milwaukee. And remember, Helms hit the big home run in New York. That helped put Milwaukee in the postseason, knocking the Mets out of the postseason. He went back-to-back. Didn't Ugla follow Helms' homer? And they went back-to-back for a 2-run lead. That was back in 2008.
No, they also remember Wes Helms. As a player, Wes had 23 home runs in 2003 with the Brewers. It was really his first legitimate shot to play every day. He'd been with Atlanta a few years prior to that, but never was an everyday player.
Helms gets hit on the elbow.
That really makes it not comfortable for a right-handed hitter.
That doesn't look good, and it certainly didn't sound good.
West just trying to take a few deep breaths and walk it off.
It's easier said than done.
But he got his collar up, the first base umpire, Chris Guccione. See? Maybe he had folded it incorrectly, and he was just trying to, you know how you kind of fold things backwards to get them back in shape? Pulled it out of his umpire's bag and
didn't quite get it on right?
Yeah, didn't have time to iron it.
Or maybe it was a prank pulled by the other umpires.
I could always give him instructions on how to steam shirts and to get the wrinkles out.
Yeah. The last shirt you tried to steam went up in flames. I've heard that story. Ground ball up the middle and a base hit. Brad Davis has a hit. So he's 1 for 3 tonight. Now that was not the same trip where you flooded the hotel room, was it?
No, a different trip. That was a couple of years ago. Well, there are little tips that you have that you learn how to get wrinkles out of clothes. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
So you were unsuccessful on both fronts in both those little tricks.
No, the wrinkles got out the first time when I flooded the room.
Well, I'm calling that not a success.
And the carpet was a little sloshy for 3 days, though.
I think the Atlanta Hilton called that not a success as well. Chad Tracy is the pinch hitter.
Most people know that if you can hang a shirt or a coat in the bathroom and you turn the shower on, it steams up, and that helps with the wrinkles.
Green misses inside to Tracy.
Problem was I didn't realize that the drain wasn't open and the tub filled and overflowed.
Green's all over the place right now, and it's 2-0. Helms was hit. Davis rolled a single through the middle.
Yeah, all coming with 2 out.
Tracy almost has been hit on each pitch, and it's 3-0. And he walks.
Well, you see a guy like Sean Green, and the first couple of hitters, you say, wow, this guy would be in the big leagues all the time, because he certainly has pitches to get big league hitters out. But obviously, you need command to do that too. And then after the 2 strikeouts, he's just totally lost command out there. Hit West, gave up the single, and walked Tracy.
Our Cabot legendary performer, brought to you by Cabot Wood Stain. 2008, the Tigers set a new American League record with their 118th loss, eclipsing the Philadelphia A's of 1916.
That was a tough year for Alan Trammell.
In 1916 or 2008?
When did Trammell manage the Tigers? They had that awful year.
Was it 2008?
Yeah.
Here's the 0-1. And it's down low.
Hard to judge Trammell as manager because of the lack of talent he had.
David takes a strike. It's 1-2. Helms was hit. Davis got a hit. Tracy walked. Breaking ball got him. Top Joe Espada is all mic'd up tonight.
It's good hands right there, boy, short. And then from right here.
I like that.
Yep. Well, Joe's an infielder. So he knows there's Jose Veras. He comes in to take over for Brian Sanchez. A very nice 2 innings for Sanchez. Veras here in the 8th. And obviously the Marlins trying to build a bridge to Clay Hensley.
That's the 7th time, by the way, this year that Brian Sanchez has gone 2 innings. So good job.
Veras enters here in the 8th. Beltran, Wright, and Davis. And you'd like to see him have a pretty quick inning. That way these bats might not come up in the 9th.
And remember, it was David Wright that hit an opposite field home run against Veras last night to tie the game.
Ground ball base hit in the center field. Every now and then we miss a cutoff man. We fail to cover second. And I thought that there was something odd with that question because
it just didn't look right.
When you said it was a bad year for Alan Trammell, I thought, well, wasn't he coaching in Chicago in 08?
Yeah, it was 03.
03 is when the Tigers set the American League record with their 118th loss. They would go on to lose in that season 119 games.
So that's a legendary correction.
Yes. Beltran's aboard. David Wright against Veras. Runs that fastball in. Our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. This one of the highlights for the Mets. Look how close Mike Stanton came. Beltran homered. That in the 4th.
Now, we mentioned the Wright home run last night. That tied the game 2 apiece in the 8th inning.
Marlins have not homered in this ball game. .94 miles an hour from Veras. If the Marlins are able to retain the A team from this year's bullpen, Sanchez, Veras, Hensley, Badenhop, of course, has been valuable as a swing man, and add to that group for next year, that would be a huge improvement, because as we've talked about, and it's been an issue all year long, 25 blown saves by the Marlins pen. Struck him out. Ferris caught the corner. And Wright is out number 1 of the 8th inning. Here comes Ike Davis.
Well, a much better result than last night. Just a perfect pitch to freeze David Wright.
Matt Davis. Mets are 3 under. Marlins at an even 500. JM Lexus presents Leaders of the Game. National League rookie RBI leaders. Ike Davis behind Jason Hayward, behind Gabby Sanchez. JM Lexus, Price made us number 1, 18 years running. Click jmlexus.com and find out how.
Still scoreless in Philadelphia.
Into right field. Stanton picks it up. Beltran on his way to third. And he's there with the slide. And the Mets are set up at the corners now with 1 out here in the 8th. Ike Davis with his second hit.
You know, there's a couple of schools of thought on throwing a left-hander a changeup with that hole open on the right side. You know, some will say, well, if you make a good pitch, you'll have him fooled. But it also allows that left-hander to pull a ball, especially when you have the kind of fastball Veras has. And it wasn't a bad changeup, but it allowed Ike Davis to get out in front a little bit and pull it into that hole.
Here now is Duda. Sacrifice fly and a single. Lucas, the USC product. And Veras misses outside. Veras last night suffered a blown save in the 8th. Marlins then in the bottom of the 8th got the 3-run homer from Gabby, and so Veras ended up getting the win. Leo Nunez starts to throw in the Marlins bullpen.
Well, getting to a point, too, where another man or two gets on, it'll turn the lineup over, and the Mets will be back to the top of the order for the 9th inning.
2-1. Marlins live after the game. And remember, you'll get to see the play that you voted on for your replay of the year. That was a pretty good pitch. Didn't miss by much. And it missed. Did not come back far enough.
It didn't miss by much, but if you're a hitter and it's in the same place this next pitch, you better be swinging.
Actually, that's not the spot you want to throw a pitch to this big guy.
He has had some good swings and certainly has shown his power. Give him some credit. He got called up, hit 23 home runs between AA and AAA. And when he got called up, he went 1 for his first 35.
He walks. They are loaded. Josh Tolle is coming up. Now the tying run's at first with 1 out. And Veras does not seem to have it tonight. Nunez is just about ready in the bullpen. You see the phone, you see Reed Cornelius moving over. That's because the phone just rang. They want to know if he is ready. So it's Veras against Tolle. And a strike, it's 0-1.
Tolle's a guy who makes contact. He puts the ball in play, good line drive hitter.
Breaking ball missed. Beltran, Davis, both with singles. And Duda walked. Ball and a strike to the Mets catcher. Davis has to smother that one. Sanchez went 2 scoreless in relief of Sanabria. Veras is struggling here in the 8th. And he can't find the plate. And I don't know that the Marlins can afford to wait much longer if he loses Tolle.
And this right here is a capsule of the entire season. No lead has been big enough for the Marlins. And it's very frustrating.
That's out. He walks in a run. The tying run's in scoring position. And let's see if the Marlins come get him.
You know, it's the type of thing, if you knew this would be the night that Veras was going to have the bad outing, if you had a crystal ball, you wouldn't put him out there. But you don't know that. But now Edwin is forced to bring in Leo Nunez here with 1 out.
So Nunez, who has had his struggles at times this year, comes in. A Marooney call to the pen.
When you need a car, truck or van, who you gonna call?
Veras gives way to Leo Nunez.
And it's up to Leo Nunez to face the Mets' best pinch hitter, Chris Carter.
Infield back for 2. Nunez starts with a changeup for a strike.
Good changeup. Carter aired it out on a fastball swing. Those are his overall numbers. He has 15 pinch hits, 15 for 51.
Ground ball. Gabby's got it. Foul ball. Chris Guccione right there on the line. Those are your pinch hit leaders.
Now we will see Joe Inglet in Milwaukee.
Count 0-2. Now here's where Nunez has got a pitch. He's out in front. He's thrown 3 consecutive changeups now. One, 2. There's a fastball that runs away, and it's 2-2. Carter has worked the count even.
I think right now he feels better with his changeup. We'll probably see changeup. There it was.
Carter just got a piece of it.
Right-handed bat Nick Evans is in the on-deck circle.
Carter, a former Boston Red Sox. Originally drafted by the Diamondbacks, traded to the Nationals, and then traded to the Red Sox, and then traded to the Mets. Ground ball. Gabby bobbles, tags him, got the out. Marlins lead is down to 1. They've got 2 outs here in the 8th. That was high anxiety at first base for Gabby Sanchez.
You know the amazing thing, Gabby didn't panic. I mean, he bobbles this ball, makes sure he takes his time, picks, and gets the tag on Carter. I'm amazed that he didn't panic at all. He saw where the ball was. It was hit sharply by Carter.
I'll tell you what, the Mets have an argument here that Leo Nunez interfered with the runner. Because if you watch that first replay, as Carter is running down the line, that's what Jerry Manuel is out talking about. Carter almost had to veer out of the way because Nunez is in his way. Now, it didn't look like it
didn't change speeds. He tried to veer out of the way of the tag, not out of the way of Nunez. Nunez was in the way as he was trying to move inward, but I don't think it affected his move.
That's close.
It's close, though.
Because if he bangs into Nunez before the tag is applied,
and Nunez doesn't have the ball,
that's interference.
Yeah.
Nick Evans now, and the Mets have the tying run at 3rd and the go-ahead run at 2nd. Davis trying to frame that fastball that really ran in on Evans. That was a strike, or at least it should have been. Changeup, Evans went after it. 1-1. But I'm with you. It seems like he has more command on the changeup right now.
Yeah, we've seen him have outings like that, where he'll try to use that fastball, but just is all over the place with it.
Drops in a strike, 1-2.
But if Nunez is able to get this out here, that's all well and good. Hopefully the Marlins can add on, but it's the top of the order in the 9th inning for the Mets.
First things first. Fastball fouled back. That was his best fastball of the inning.
We've seen Evans a little bit the last couple of years. He's had some sporadic opportunities with the Mets in the outfield. He'll be in the outfield.
That's Duda. Tolley. One-two from Nunez. And he's gone even now, 2-2. Evans waits. 2-2 coming. And he pulls it foul. This was a 5-0 Marlins lead after one. Mets getting a run in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 2 here in the eighth. Marlins tacked on a run in the fifth. Marlins bullpen blew a save last night, but the Fish came back and won the game. Edwin hoping that Nunez can hold it here in the eighth.
More changeups, but Evans keeps battling.
2-2.
Battle of fastball. Went upstairs and he fouled it off. That's a good battle going on by Leo Nunez and Nick Evans. Next pitch will be number 9 to him.
Final meeting of the year for the Marlins and the Mets. Marlins 11-6 against the Mets. 2-2 again. He got him with a fastball. Mets get a couple. Marlins hold the lead. It's down to 1 as we roll to the bottom of the eighth. Our Toyota trend tonight in home games, and that includes Iram Bithorn Stadium. Who could forget that, Tommy? The San Juan series. Marlins have won 7 of 8. And have not lost the game against the Mets in this ballpark.
Yeah, the Mets trying to win their first game here at Sun Life Stadium. Isanori Takahashi comes in to work for the 48th time this year, and also remember Chris Carter pinch hit for Tejada, the second baseman, so a new second baseman, Joaquin Arias. Here's Arias.
Marlins now with Ozzie Martinez, Logan Morrison, and Dan Uggla against Takahashi. Alex Sanabia still in line for the win. Jonathan Neese on the hook for the loss. And Clay Hensley starting his routine for the 9th. Martinez takes a strike.
I'm sure it's pretty much the same routine that Clay had when he was working in the 8th inning.
Ball and a strike. Ozzie has a sacrifice bunt, has lined out, walked. Phillies have scored first, and it's 1-0 Philadelphia in the bottom of the 8th. Every game of that series has been a 2-game swing in the standings. Ozzie flips that one foul. It's a 5-game lead. If the Braves win tonight, it's a 4-game lead. Phillies sweep, 6-game lead.
It's always interesting, too, when you have a team playing on the East Coast. Now, if the Braves lose ground in that wild card, then teams out west know that. They're able to check the scoreboard pretty much before they take the field.
One team on the field, the division leader in the West, is trailing. The Giants trail the Cubs 2-0 in the 6th in Chicago. Kosuke Fukudome with his 13th homer. Ozzie strokes that one in the gap. He's going to run a while. Beltran picks it up. Well, he's fun to watch. You got to like the spark, the spunk, the glove, the attitude.
And you know what? He's got a great smile, too. Boy, he hits this ball well. Went down, got it. Pitch was not a bad pitch by Takahashi. Good play by Beltran to kind of circle and cut it off. And a good way to start this inning. First double of his career, his 2nd major league hit.
Now Morrison with nobody out. Lefty against lefty. Seems that's how Morrison likes it.
Let's see how Lomo approaches this at bat, though, with a job to do here with Martinez at second base.
What do you do if you're Morrison and they pitch you outside, though?
Yeah, but they haven't. That one was, but a lot of times tonight, especially Neese was trying to run 2-seamers in on it. You take a shot, you crowd, you dive a little bit, try to hook a ball, but then you might try that one time, and then you see if he comes in on you. But there are his numbers. Look what he's hit against lefties.
Well, they've stayed away on the first 2 pitches until he's back out there again. 1-2, and now all you're trying to do is get good contact.
Yeah, once it gets to 2 strikes.
Hensley in the pen.
But another run certainly will look real good. Certainly to Clay Hensley.
And as you pointed out, and as we talked about when Veras came in the ball game in the middle of the order, if he did not get through cleanly, then you're going to have the top of the order and the big bats coming up in the 9th, and that's exactly what has happened. The Mets got 2 runs, and they've got the top of the order leading off in the 9th. 1-2 to Morrison. Fastball, got him.
Well, that time you can just say Takahashi worked him over. He made some good pitches. He stayed away. Off-speed pitch, got strike 2, and then went upstairs to get the strikeout.
So it's Uggla now. RBI single in the 1st, doubled in the 5th.
This is a guy that Dan Uggla's had some pretty good numbers against. Dan Uggla has 3 career home runs against Takahashi.
Got good speed out there at second. Got good arm in right, a good arm in center, although Beltran plays very deep. Ugla takes the ball, it's 1-0. All 3 hits, homers.
You have to wonder if he'll see much to hit here with first base open. You have to put more runners on base when you're already behind. There's that changeup. The changeup affected by Takahashi because he gives you that little herky-jerky hesitation delivery.
Ball and a strike to Ugla. Drove in his 97th run back in the first. Flips that one foul. And Takahashi's out front 1-2. Long sequence by Toley. 1-2 from Takahashi. Ugla, a little soft line drive into center field. Ozzy's going to score. RBI number 98 for Ugla.
A little soft serve into center field. Just right, allowed Ozzy Martinez to score easily. Takahashi wasn't going to give him anything hard. The challenge at quick bat at Dan Ugla. He stayed away, took a little off, and sometimes you hear the phrase, hitters will say, he hit it just like he threw it. And that's pretty much what happened there, bringing home Ozzy Martinez with a huge run.
So here's Gabby. Gabby, left field. It's deep. Hook in. Foul. That had number 20 written all over it.
Gabby looking for his first hit tonight. Nice night for Uggs. Dan Ugla with 3 hits, a couple of singles, a couple of RBIs, a double. Again, off-speed pitch. Couldn't quite keep it fair.
Missed low with the fastball. Gabby had 3 hits last night. Behind the count 1-2.
See, Rich, you keep the same routine. Whether it's getting ready for the 8th inning or getting ready for the 9th inning. Clay Hensley is loose. He's ready to go, and he comes down and waits in that spot he has. Coming into this game, this has been a good matchup for Gabby Sanchez. He was hitting over 400 with 3 home runs and 15 RBIs against the Mets this year.
Hammers that one into left field, a base hit. The Marlins have 3 hits against Takahashi. Mike Stanton comes up. An insurance run here in the 8th. It is 7-5. Stanton tonight is 0 for 2 with a couple of walks.
For 2 makes him 4 for 31 against the Mets this year. He'd like to get a big one. He's not done a lot of damage against New York. One of those base hits has been a home run. I think the home run was in Puerto Rico.
Wasn't it a grand slam?
Yeah.
And of all the home runs that he's hit this year, that one may be the least impressive in terms of distance. I mean, he just snuck it out to left field.
No, the one in Puerto Rico wasn't a grand slam. Hanley hit a grand slam in Puerto Rico.
That makes it even less impressive.
You remember Mike Stanton's grand slam was his first career home run against the Rays.
They're all kind of blending together at this point.
That was just before we went to Puerto Rico.
Ugla with Gabby. One, two to Stanton. Check swing. Did not go. That's 2-2.
Mike is so strong. Yeah, that was close. He can check that swing a little easier than most.
Down low, counts full, 3-2. I know he strikes out a lot. What you think about starting the runners with a 2-run lead?
I don't think so in this case. I'd hate to see you run yourself out of an inning. You got Wes Helms on deck against the left-hander.
Not running. Broken bat. Into center, Beltran makes the catch, and Ugla gets doubled off second base. And Beltran gets the double play. Marlins make a mistake out there at second. 7-5. On top of the Mets. Double switch time with the pitcher for the Marlins theoretically due up third if they get to the bottom of the ninth. Scott Cousins comes in. He'll be in that 9 spot. Clay Hensley will enter. He will hit in Mike Stanton's spot in the order. Hensley obviously doesn't want to see the bottom of the ninth. He'd like to end it right here with a 2-run lead.
Yeah, he'd like to end it with save number 5 on the year. He's had just a tremendous season in multiple roles. And the key to this inning right now, get this first hitter out, Jose Reyes.
Reyes takes a strike from Hensley. Then it's Pagan, and then it's Beltran. To the top of the order, Reyes an RBI single, and then 3 strikeouts. Runs up to bunt and takes high. It's over in Philadelphia. Brad Lidge shuts the door for Roy Oswalt. And the Phillies have swept the Braves.
Wow.
Atlanta is not a very good team on the road this year. A 1-hopper for Helms. And he fires across in time. And Hensley has an out. As the Marlins know, the Braves are very good at Turner Field. But Atlanta now on the road this year, 34-44, 10 under, 52-23 at home, a better home record than Philadelphia has.
Yeah, that's to me that's a little strange because Turner Field isn't a tricked up field. It isn't. It's kind of a basic field, so you would think they would play just as well away from there. They've been incredible at home this year. They don't have sellouts at home every night like the Phillies do.
Well, the Phillies are now 6 up. And the Braves are hopeful that the Padres don't win tonight, because if the Padres win tonight, the Braves and the Padres are tied for the wild card. And the Padres are back at Dodger Stadium tonight. Remember, the Padres play a lot of games against some good teams from the Central. I believe they still have the Reds in a midweek series coming up.
Roy Oswalt, by the way, went 7 innings, gave up 1 hit and no runs, had 8 strikeouts. He got a no decision.
Ugla saves himself and gets the out.
Ryan Madsen came in, pitched the 8th inning. He got the win, and Lidge got his 26th save. Look at Dan. That ball was hit pretty hard.
So Ugla's all right. Here comes Beltran. The Padres have the Reds this weekend, and then they have the Cubs. And of course, the Cubs are playing well right now. The Marlins saw that. Hensley's an out away. The other day on Marlins Live, Jeff Conine was talking about rotation for next year, and he threw out the name Clay Hensley. And I'll tell you what, Morrison back at the wall, leaps, can't get it. It's off the wall. Beltran cruising towards second, on his way to third. Morrison picks it up, fires to third. He's in there. Well, that was a real gamble by Beltran to get to third. With 2 outs, down a couple in the ninth.
It's down the line enough. It's a little tough for Cameron Maben to get over. I think with a little more experience, Ozzie Martinez, the shortstop, would go out a little bit deeper to maybe play that carom, expecting the ball, if it gets over Morrison's head, to come back to him.
Well, the tying run is at the plate now with David Wright. Hensley starts him with a breaking ball for a strike. I mean, Hensley showed in spring training as a starter he was outstanding, but he's finishing the season as the closer, and he's been outstanding. Right, little ground ball, diving stop, Ugla on his knees, ball game! Danny Ugla!
Pick it, Daniel!
And the Marlins sweep the Mets. Ugla with a terrific play to his left. Hensley is 5 for 5 in save opportunities. And the Marlins head to Milwaukee, a game over at 76-75.
Say the last 2 nights, Rich, the Marlins have played spectacular defense, and that's how you win games. And they certainly have been able to do that this 2-game series against the Mets.
Ugla with a terrific play and a terrific night at the plate as well. Dan drives in a couple. We'll wrap it up after this. 7-5.